Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is the Failing My Way in Public to Success, the Mark Sclair podcast. You could have been anywhere else, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. So let's get started. Apart from just faffing around for 10 minutes trying to sort this out, I am on my way to Abu Dhabi for the second day of Think Prop Abu Dhabi real estate exams, where I'm the trainer. And, you know, my background from many years ago is in real estate. And yes, I train real estate agents, but what I really like about what I'm doing here is that it's about the laws and it's about best practices and it's about the things that the agents really need to know. So I just thought I'd give you an update of where I am, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm not sure about the colour coding today. I'm going to see what they think at the event. Getting up in front of people, not wearing the right sort of clothes, doesn't always look good. So anyway, trying a couple of new colour schemes, so let's see what happens. Right, so what I want to talk about today is something that's really important that helps with understanding the science behind what makes us do things and persuades us, convinces us, gets us to get out of bed, gets us to not do something. And there's a tagline which I'm going to try and develop now, and it's called Take Back Your Life. Take back your life. And when we look at what's gone on in America now, and we look at campaigns which they had along the way, and also I want to talk about the UK as well, there's two taglines. One is Make America Great Again, the Donald, and the other one is Take Back Your Borders. Now, the reason why I talk about the science behind this and how wording and phrasing is so important here is when we look at the words, which is again and also back. So again and back. So Make America Great Again and Take Back Your Borders. What they're implying is that this is something that you already had, that you actually already had ownership of, and it means that it's possible for you to get it again. So when you're looking to persuade somebody, there needs to be this idea of, okay, I've done it before, or somebody's done it before, evidence that it's possible, and I believe that you are the person that can get me what I want. And that's the whole part of this, because one thing is you're saying, like, you know, get back, take back your life again, but the person that is trying to promote it to you, do you believe that they can do that for you? And this is where a lot of mistakes are made, because people, they want you to, I made this mistake, so you say to people, if I can do it, you can do it. And it's not as simple as that, because you need to showcase the challenges that you've been through, and that's what people have struggles with doing. It's quite interesting. I was listening to one of my motivational people today. He's not just motivational, he's also a great business person, but Russell Brunson. And on his podcast, which he launched at the beginning of the year, his new podcast actually, he's rebranded it to the Russell Brunson Show. What he speaks about is, first of all, like, his business has been doing really bad recently. He tried to launch ClickFunnels 2.0, and it was interesting what he said, because he said, like, when he launched the business originally, he had no subscribers. So when people started to come on, there were teething problems, and he could handle those problems because there wasn't many. Now with his relaunch, he's got hundreds of thousands of people which are using this, and there's going to be issues. There's always going to be issues with a launch, and it's been a real problem. But the story he shared, first of all, on his twin son's 18th birthday, one of his sons seems to be like a really nice kid, and the other one left home when they were 18. And he shared his story about that, how it was a surprise and a shock. Now, if you know Russell Brunson, he's a man of faith. He is a Jehovah's Witness, if that's what you can call it. I think that's what he would be. I think that's what it is. But he's a man of God, man of faith. And for that to happen to somebody like that, I mean, you see this happen a lot. Like, you're a good person, you try to raise your family right, and sometimes the kids rebel. I don't know the full ins and outs, but, you know, these things happen. And then he was sharing that story, and then he shared the story about with his other son, who he does a lot of wrestling with. And Russell Brunson, he did wrestling in college. He went to university with it. He's always been wrestling. He absolutely loves it and adores it. He went to his son's practice, or his son's match, his son's game, like a year ago, and he sat there and he realizes that the guy that his son is wrestling, he's doing some things that he's not liking. And rather than just sitting there and letting his son get beat, he ended up getting involved in the wrestling match. And you know, when you're a normal dad, you can apologise and maybe you get a slap on the wrist, but literally, because it's Russell Brunson, somebody filmed it, it went online, it went crazy, and like he said, he finally made it onto the Joe Rogan show, and he's been banned from his son's wrestling, he's been banned from coaching the team, he's been banned from the school, and this is a problem that he's been through, and along with many other things that he's had challenging. Now you might look at that and the story that he's telling and says, well, I don't want to listen to this guy, I don't want to sign up to anything he's offering. It sounds like the guy's an absolute mental case and he doesn't know how to look after his family or how to compose himself when his son's wrestling. And you might be right in saying that, thinking about it, but nobody is perfect. And when you start to share this story with people, people start to connect with you and they start to align with who you are because they can see that you're being open, you're being authentic. They're seeing that you've been through these challenges in your life and you're willing to share this with people, and that's where the connection happens. And this is the big mistake that so many people make. They're trying to make themselves look great and amazing and they've got all these clients and nothing's ever gone wrong in their lives, but the truth is that's not true. And the second truth is people are not going to connect with you if you try and make yourself look great all the time. So when I talk about take back your life, that's what I want to get into now. Came up with this because at the end of last year, I've been going through a process of really trying to work out my goals for 2025, what I'm looking to do, where I made mistakes, where I can get better. And I was trying to come up with a title for it, really. And I've been, you know, when you look at Russell Brunson, it says like, you're only one funnel away. And when you look at Donald Trump, Make America Great Again. When you look at the UK campaign, which failed actually, yeah, this is what Conservative went with, like take back your borders. Yeah, I mean, it's an absolute shit show what's going on there, but we won't talk about that because I don't want to offend too many people. But when we look at this slogan, which I'm trying to see if it's going to work, but I do believe it can, it's, you know, take back your life. And the issue is that somewhere along the way you've fallen off, and I'm talking to myself here as well, you've fallen off. All of these things you said you were going to do, all of these things that you promised people, you promised to yourself, you've fallen off. And I want to talk about myself here for a minute because yesterday I looked at what I'd written down 3 weeks ago, and I'd actually not looked at it in 3 weeks, and that was pathetic from my side. And I started to look at the goals that I'd written down, and with the goals I was looking at the strategy as well, and we can get into that. Like, what is the strategy you're going to use to achieve these goals? And this is like daily things that you can be doing to make sure that you're aligned with what you're looking to do. And I looked at it, you know, and there's certain things that I've been doing, getting up early, making the bed, drinking 1.5 litres, journaling on and off. First week or so I did it. I've stopped doing it recently. Who knows why. I looked at it and I've gone like, these are things that I've said to myself I'm going to do, and they're all pretty simple, all the other things. And I've been so busy trying to think of other things to do, you kind of forget about what you should be doing. So you've got to go back to the basics. And the basics are those simple things that you said you're going to do, and there's small incremental changes that you can make. So I want to create one opportunity per day. And to create one opportunity per day, I believe that there's about 20 phone calls or 20 interactions you need to be making. I want to be out of my apartment twice a week. I want to be working from another work location twice a week. I want to be meeting 3 people per week that I can have a coffee with, have a catch up with, bounce ideas off. Now, if I talk about that after 3 weeks now, I'd say 50% of it I've been doing. Now, that's probably 25% more of what I was doing last year. And you can say, okay, that's an improvement. But from where I want to get to and what I want to maintain, I don't think it's going that well. So I have an option here. I can either fall off and say, oh, my year's over, or I can say it's the 21st of January, we're 3 weeks in, and you can still take back your life. Take back your life. And one big part of that is, you know, signing off, not looking at so much social media, not doom scrolling, not getting caught up in all the dramas all the time. These are things that you can have control over, which are going to have a real impact in your life. And you might think, oh, I can go on the internet and doom scroll. You don't realise actually how much of an effect it's having. And one big part it's doing for me is it's not allowing me to focus. It's not allowing me to sit down and get my work done. I go like, oh, let me think about doing something else. And then I get onto internet, and next thing I know, I'm 30 minutes later, I've been looking at cats jumping at the sight of cucumbers. That is funny, though. Why do they do that? I've got no idea. Okay, so you can take back your life. Can you make America great again? Can you take back your borders? What is this slogan which you can say, which you can put yourself in a position where you're going to take back control of what you want out of your life? And there's a goal that you want to reach. What is that goal you want to reach? And what is the strategy and what is the task you need to be setting yourself each day? And what I want you to be aware of here is that the goal you might set yourself 2-3 years ago could be different to the goal you want now. So it can't just be a copy and paste. You really need to go through who are you now? Who are you now? Who do you want to be? Where are you getting to? And how are you going to get there? And there's nothing wrong with asking the word how. How am I meant to do this? Some people might look at that and think, well, you're being negative because, how am I meant to do this? But it's the tone that you're using with your internal discussion. All right, I've got an issue. How can I get through this? Not how can I get through this? How can I get through this? Probably sounds like the same tone, could be right. But you're either going to challenge yourself, you're going to be curious, and you're going to find a solution. Now, I think I need to get back to driving here because I'm on probably one of the most dangerous roads in the world, the Sheikh Zayed Road on the way up to Abu Dhabi, and the things that you see go on in this road. So I need to fully focus here. But if you enjoy the stories that I tell in the car and the challenges that I go through, please like, share and subscribe. Subscribe so you can be up to date with what's going on. I will sign off with, you could have been anywhere else, but you've been here with me, and I appreciate that. So, this is Mark signing off on the Mark Sclair podcast, failing my way in public, in the car to success. Have a great day, everyone. Like, share, subscribe. Take care. Bye.